Meeple Talk! Hello everyone, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Adam.
And welcome to Meeple Talk. So we've got today the Isle of Skye. It's a Mayfair game. And how would we describe this? Well, I would probably say that if you're familiar with a lot of other games, it is a blend, in a way, of Carcassonne with Castles of Mad King Ludwig. And the reason is that, well, we've got some tiles that shape like landscapes, and we've got some, well, objective scoring tokens. I guess they call them...
King's Favors in Mad King Ludwig.
Yes, but in this game, kind of fuzzy on it. But either way...
they're scoring tiles, I believe. Yeah, yes. Scoring tiles.
That's a ticket.
There's so many names for these things.
I know, exactly. But, so it kind of blends those two kind of building elements, in this game. And so, a little bit, about how the actual game works is that we all represent, a certain clan, a Scottish clan.
I'm Clan McNichol.
I am McLeod.
Yes.
And we all start off, with our own little castle tile, and this is where all our building is gonna stem from. Right away, there's a little coin earning illustration on there of 5, so everyone starts with earning some coins to begin with, and why that's important is that we're gonna be buying some land. So when we first begin, after we earn some money here, everyone's going to draw 3 awesome mystery tokens, or mystery landscape tiles, and they may represent landscapes like mountains, fields, waterways as well, roads too.
Very Carcassonne-like, just landscape.
Yes, and they're very square. And we put them in front of our little clan wall, shield, I don't know what these are.
Heidi wall, I don't know what it's...
Okay. And let's say you have your tokens. Everyone starts with 5 at first. And you also have an axe as well. And why that's important is that even though you've drawn 3 tiles, these are representing the tiles that you have for sale. And behind each one... I'm dropping things all over the place. So what happens is that you take your axe and you're going to decide which one of these you actually want to be off the market. It's just going to be discarded back into the draw bag.
You're going to,
And so you're going to
take it off the market.
Exactly. You're going to secretly put it behind one of them.
Secretly. That's very important. No one knows which one you're going to get rid of. So.
Exactly. And for the rest, you have to place at least 1 coin up to however many you like. And so you've decided what your selling price is going to be. And everyone takes, at the same time, their turns doing that. And then once everyone's ready, the reveal happens. The one that you want to discard goes back into the draw bag. I feel like we're doing a magic trick here. And a bunny comes out.
Okay.
And then, so what happens here is that we've all now displayed our plots of land and the prices that we want for them. And we all take turns going around. We can choose to, with whatever money we have left over, to buy from one person their particular landscape tile. Now, what happens if, well, you don't have to buy from everybody, and obviously if we have 2 for sale.
Yeah, you can only buy 1 tile.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's important.
There's 2 for sale per person, but only 1 gets bought. Obviously there's going to be some leftover tiles. So you want to decide... The goal is to earn some money. You want to price it right so people will buy your tiles from you and earn the cash that they have to offer. If you price it too high, any tiles that you don't sell, you then have to buy them. So whatever price you marked it at, you then have to pay that price into the bank. So sometimes if you really want a tile, it might be to your advantage to price it high, but then you're going to be paying for it, absolutely. Once everyone's got their tiles that they want, they'll then fit it along... in whatever landscape configuration that they like. So just like Carcassonne, certain patterns have to match. Water has to connect to water, field to field, mountain to mountain. The only difference is the roadways. Roadways, it actually doesn't matter. It can cut off at the tile edge. The only time roadways matter is in the coin earning phase of the turn. Any roadways that connect directly to your castle that happen to have barrels with some coin earning ability, you will be able to earn. It has to connect to your castle. And then there might be some other building conditions where you can earn victory points that are based on the roadway towards your castle. But otherwise, orientation, everything else doesn't really matter as long as the landscape geography matches.
Yes. Yeah. So after you place, and the final round, I guess, is the scoring round. And so that's where the reason you're putting things in certain places on the board is to match these various scoring conditions on these scoring tiles. Now, there's a total of 16 scoring tiles. You only lay out 4 of them during this game. So each game is very, very different because you've got these 4 scoring conditions that you're working towards. In a normal game, I think for 2 to 4 players, there's 6 different rounds.
Yeah.
And during those rounds, each one of these tiles will score a total of 3 times in different positions. So, for example, on turn 1, the A tile only will score during the scoring tile. And then after the end of the next round, the B tile will score. We come back to the 6th round, which is the last one. B, C, and D will all score.
So do it in different combinations.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these scoring tiles drive the entire game. And then once you score, you go to the next round. You wash, rinse, and repeat, essentially.
Exactly. And we're all squeaky clean by the end.
Yes. So there's some opportunities to score some points. There's these scrolls on certain tiles. You might score, for example, 1 tower will score 1 victory point per, but that's only at the very end of the game, whereas these score every round, which makes this game a little bit different. So you have
the master goals and then your individual goals.
Yeah, so that's basically the whole game. One other rule we want to mention, because it comes into our opinions later, is that after each round, also, in addition to the points you get, anyone who is not in the lead will get 1 point. Well, in the first 2 rounds, or first 3 rounds anyway, they'll get 1 gold coin for each person who is ahead of them. So the second place player, for example, in the first round will get 1 coin because green is ahead. The yellow player will get 1, 2, 3 additional coins moving into the second round. And that actually goes up further and further. For example, on the last round, you'll get 4 coins for each person who's in front of you. So if this was the last round, yellow would get 12 coins just for being in last place. So that's a very interesting mechanism of the game.
Now, also, because it's 2 to 5 players, I just want to mention there's actually 2 sides of the board. One for 2 to 4, different conditions for 5 fewer rounds, also not as many coins. Now, I guess...
moving into opinions.
I guess so. Might as well. Well, I was going to say, one of the reasons why I like this is that there's something to be said about simply designed games. Just like original Carcassonne was, it seemed like pick a tile, place a tile. Same thing here. It's like there's not a lot that you actually have to do. Draw coins, bid, place, and that's kind of it, right? As long as you fit it to whatever conditions you're looking for, that's the overall goal. But it works really, really well. And also too, because we mentioned earlier that yes, it kind of like had borrows from 2 different kind of games. We don't find that they were badly placed or ill thought out. It actually really works nicely together. So I think it's a good blend of those 2 mechanisms there. The only thing I don't really... Well, so far, what we've seen, it may take a few more plays to really suss it out over the long term, but it seems to be that if you're really trying to play well in the beginning of the game, and you actually succeed, and you do it consistently, there's a little bit of a disadvantage in that sense that because of these coin earning multipliers, especially when you're further behind, it's supposed to be, I guess, a catch up method for you for the whoever's behind. But it has this odd little effect that the fewer coins you have for being well placed in the beginning, it actually puts you at a disadvantage in the overall market. And the reason why is that when you're actually bidding on or placing your prices on your tiles, you have to use the coins that you have in hand. And also, whatever you don't use, that's what you can afford to then bid on other properties. If you have a lot of coins, it can really build up pretty fast. You can afford not only to put high prices on the tiles. Maybe you have some desirable tiles that you want to keep. You can easily afford the tiles of other people who have fewer coins. And you might find yourself in a position that those with a lot of coins may have the potential to gain 3 tiles and place them. And those with very few coins for being good players in the beginning might actually not be able to afford any, and all their prices or all their tiles were bought because they were cheap. Yeah. So that actually ruins it for later.
Yeah, so we found that very interesting, that if you're doing well, then you're actually kind of like punished, right? Whereas it's supposed to be a catch-up where if you're last place, they help you out. So that may figure into the strategy. The more you play it, the more you might say, well, I don't want to do really well in the first couple of rounds, sort of thing. But my overall impression of this game is that compared to a game like Mad King Ludwig, of which we have a previous review, you can check it out. This game is far simpler, but it lasts about the same amount of time. And although it's very simple, it's very cleverly designed and very elegant. There's all sorts of different strategies going on in this game. This is a really, really well-designed game. And it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot easier to set up than, a game like Mad King Ludwig, for example. It's an easy game to learn. It's easier to play. It has fewer components. It's simpler, and it's very strategic. I don't know if I already said that, but I think that each time you play it, it's more different than other games, because these 4 scoring tiles can be, they can multiply, they can, you can have 2 or 3, for example, if you're collecting animals or animals next to farms or something like that, those multipliers can really, multiply your score, and it drives the entire game, those four scoring tiles. So I think it's really a fascinating game. Maybe, I feel like people have not really paid attention to this game so much. I don't know. I think it's fabulous, and you should definitely take a look at it.
And I think one of the things that you also said in a previous conversation before is that with Castles of Mad King Ludwig, the goals that you're going for towards the end, they may earn you some points, but also your individual building actually may have more earning power, so they may become less important. And this one, it really is the driver. It gives you most of your points. And also, too, one of the reasons why I like it is that as a form of strategy game, all these 4 tiles will become important at some point, because the combinations between what's going to score in any given round, they're going to change. So not only do you have to decide, I'm going to probably have to build this at some point, but deciding when. Am I going to try to capture on it in the early round when it's going to score at that point, or should I wait or grab another thing that's going to become more weighted later? And so it'll affect how you price things, how you buy things. So timing is really critical. And so I think I like that. It's simple, but it does play with your strategic thinking. And I think that's a really good way to go about it. So even though I had a little bit of a kind of, I guess, a negative that we'll see how it plays out in the long run, I would say definitely this is a good one to give a try. If you like the tile placing, if you like Carcassonne, if you like Castles of Mad King Ludwig, or never tried either, I would say this one would be a good one to start with. Yeah. So I guess that's our opinion.
Yeah. We'd like to hear your thoughts. If you have any views, put them in the comments. We'll answer you.
If you have any views, put them in the comments. Either way, if you have any thoughts.
Right. Whatever you have, put it in the comments. If it can be put there electronically.
Exactly. All right. But thank you for watching. We are Meeple Talk. Have yourself a great night.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.
So much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.